Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel. So, we are having another live session. Without any waste of time, we want to take on some of the interesting topics on the social media. Like you can already see what Sahara Reporter posted coming from Charlie Boy. He said, even if Peter Obi says we should move on from 2023 election, obedience won't accept. Hmm. Honestly, this is very, very interesting. So obedience are determined, to stick to what they believe that they won this election. Nobody can change that from them. They won this election and they must reclaim their mandate. That is just the heart cry of every Nigerian youth. Let me say most of the Nigerian youths, because some people will say, don't forget that we have APC youths, we have PDP youths. But I tell
Yeah,
you, majority of the Nigerian youths, those that came out and voted for Peter Obi, those that saw Peter Obi as that man who is going to keep to his words if he takes over leadership in Nigeria, that man who is interested in seeing Nigeria work again for the ordinary people, unlike our politicians that are just there for their own self-interest. They just want to ensure their kids leave Nigeria and go to study in abroad while they keep embezzling the money. That is just the dream of a typical Nigerian politician. For me and my family, they
yeah,
forget the people that voted for them. So Charlie Boy is saying that even if Mr. Peter Obi, sometimes he's somebody that doesn't want it hot. Should
yeah,
he change his mind tomorrow now and say, obedience, please, for the sake of peace, let's just leave this election to just die down. As in, we don't want all this again. Myself, I don't want. Maybe let me just wait for the next election. If Mr. Peter Obi should ever say that, Charlie Boy is saying that obedience will not accept. Maybe that will be the first time that the obedience will disobey Peter Obi, because we all know what it took Nigerians to come out and vote. There was this massive intimidation, threats to people's lives. Those that were supporting Peter Obi were being persecuted by, those of them from the APC and the PDP and all that. There were a lot of all this. But I tell you, Nigerian youths came out. You can imagine, even upon all the votes they stole from Peter Obi, he still came up
yeah,
with 6 point something million. Ah, this is unbelievable. People keep saying this is a man that has never, gotten to this level of politics before in his life. Just on a first attempt, look at where he took the Labour Party to. So I equally agree with Charlie Boy. Honestly, Nigerians saw this election as the only hope to change Nigeria for the better. And they were looking for somebody that has some level of credibility, somebody they can believe, somebody they can trust. And when people looked at Peter, people he doesn't even know, he has never come across them, he has never met them before. People so much believed in this man. Looking at his track record, what he did in Anambra State, looking at his life as a person, no stain. EFCC could not indict him. Nobody could accuse him of corruption. Looking at the way, his history, you find out that
yeah,
Peter Obi is just that one man that everybody keep falling in love. So you can imagine him being the president of Nigeria. I tell you, Nigerians will not suffer anymore. Because all
yeah,
these things we are suffering is because of the greediness of our politicians. You can imagine this fuel subsidy that somebody came and told Buhari, please, I am tired of making money from fuel subsidy. Please just remove it. The corruption
hmm,
is massive. Personally, I am tired. Maybe possibly he doesn't know what to do with money again. He was begging Buhari to remove it. Still, Buhari
remove.
said, if I remove it, my party will lose. That's why I left subsidy until after the election. So you can see the desperation in our politicians, to get to places of power. And when they get there, the masses mean nothing to them. They don't care. They are just there for their own selfish interest. That was just what the APC displayed. But
Yeah,
Nigerians believe in Peter Obi, and we just believe that, honestly, that this election, we want it. We want it, and we want our mandate given back to us. If they should order for a fresh election. We don't even know what is going to be the outcome because the current government is going to use security agencies, I mean, the security personnel to come against or to come after the obedient family. They will really
Hmm.
come hard on us. So I don't think conducting a fresh election is even an option. So, Gloria, let me leave you at this point to comment.
Okay, yes, thank you very much. So, going from what Charlie Boy said, I believe what he's even pointing at is the fact that Peter Obi, this is not just your race. You are like a sent man. We Nigerians, the Obedience family, we are sending you to go and take up this leadership to actually liberate us. So he's trying to say this is actually a fight that is beyond Peter Obi. It's a fight for Nigeria. It's a fight to actually bring back a mandate that will move the country forward. So I believe that's what he's trying to say, and that's why he's saying that this is something that, and in a very good way, he's also telling Peter Obi that it's not a time to actually give up. It's not a time to actually say, let's just let the thing go. Next time we'll come back again. So that's what he's trying to point out. And I believe that, and I know that Peter Obi is not a man that will just give up easily. He's not a man that will just say, okay, let me just let them go and next time I'll come back. No, he's ready to fight to the last, like he said. And even if he's not ready to fight to the last, just like the boy said, Nigerians are not going to accept it. They will not accept it because this is something that if we go through the track record of Nigeria politics and everything, it's not favoring the masses. It's not favoring the young person out there. It's just like a circle. The people that are there, they keep bringing their people, they keep enjoying, while the people, the masses are just there suffering and everything.
Mm.
So we want a new narrative. That's why we
Mm.
we that's why Nigerians actually went and brought Obi, let me put it that way, and then we believe in him and know that this man is going to bring the change that we desire, both in our politics and then in our nation, Nigeria. And I believe he's going to fight to the end, and then justice will be done for the mandate to be given back to him. I believe.
Mm. So let's look at this post. Shehu Ghazali said, when Peter Obi gets back his mandate, the first agency that must be decisively probed is INEC. How can INEC collect over 300 billion to conduct election? And they are talking of technical glitch. Technical glitch. I beg, let me know on the other side.
Yes, yes, yes.
So you can see that honestly, INEC, I don't even know. Sometimes I'll just be like try to imagine the amount of money that was given to INEC. This is not all the contribution that came like from the European Union and other organizations that supported INEC during this election. But look at where
Hmm.
we are today. We don't know if we had an election. We don't know if we are yet to conduct a fresh election. Look at the money that is being spent in the election tribunal. Do you know, there was this man that came on air to talk. He's from the NNPP from Kano State. He was saying that this election tribunal that we are looking at is running in billions, as in the money that is being spent on these lawyers. He
Hmm.
used billion. So I was like, my God, we had an election that cost us this much. And at the end of the day, we are in the tribunal still spending more money just because of will I call it the greed or what? I don't even know what prompted INEC to do what it did during this election. Why, what kind of persuasion or what kind of pressure were they under to have just at the dying minute? You kept telling people until 24 hours to the election that there's no going back on the
Hmm.
papers, no going back on posting the result to the IREF. And then when it got to that time, they told us that it was not going in. So I don't know. Sometimes what is happening in Nigeria will just make somebody feel like crying. See, we don't have good hospitals. Our doctors keep going on strike that they are not being well taken care of. So many things. Look at nurses. If you study nurse or nursing in Nigeria, you are like nobody, which is not supposed to be. You come to the Western world, these people are being appreciated, these people are being valued, but not in Nigeria. And you look at how much INEC spent on this election. Really, APC is one of the worst things that has ever happened to Nigeria. This party, honestly. Do you know how much they borrowed during this the last administration? Nigerians are the one paying. Look at tax. Buhari is not talking of taxation, taxation. Everybody wants to, get the people pay for all this mess that they did. So
Yeah,
I think INEC should really be proved, and INEC should like undergo a reform. They really
yeah,
need it at this time. They really need it because so many things have gone wrong. Even INEC itself, as in the person of Mahmoud, cannot even trust his workers. Some of them are even working against him as a person. Some of them are working against the INEC as a body, whatever decision they have. Some people are going
mm,
against. Just honestly, things are not looking that good when it comes to
yeah.
our electoral process. Let me know what you have to say, Gloria.
For me, I believe that INEC there should be a sanitation, like INEC is meant to be an independent body, but we are not seeing that in Nigeria. It's like it's a body that is dancing to the tune of a political party. So I believe there should be a sanitation in INEC in such a way that the body, what it stands for, is what it's standing for. It should just be a standalone body that the government does not have power over. That in that way, they'll be able to carry out their assignment effectively. I'm talking about the beavers and everything that happened during the election. During that presidential election, I was actually like it's for many of us it was so bad that we were following and everything was just looking like what is this, what is going on, because when we saw Ekiti election, what happened in Ekiti election was that to a very large extent all of those things worked well. To a very large extent, both the beavers and the collation of results, it was fast, it was smooth, and it was done. And then they said Ekiti election was actually testing for the presidential
During the
election.
election. Mhm.
Yes. And then INEC gave us assurance that everything was going to be fine, everything was going to be smooth. But on that day, people started complaining from different polling units that the beavers were not working. After the election, they could not upload results. Some persons even snapped themselves and uploaded as results. There was a case of a polling unit in the state where a core member mistakenly took, because of how the machine was hanging, the beaver's
Yeah.
machine, she mistakenly took her picture and uploaded in iRev, like that's the
Mhm.
result. So you can see how the whole INEC is just looking like on that election day they went to, let me say, switch off something that made
Yeah.
all the systems to start malfunctioning. So there should just be a total sanitation of the INEC, and there should be a stand-alone body that no political party will have any interference on them. I believe
Yeah.
that will be the best way INEC will be able to work on effectively. There was a time I was even thinking, is there a way that elections will be conducted by maybe a foreign body, let me put it that way, that does not support any political party, because this is
Mhm.
Nigeria and it's actually done by Nigerians. So they will have their own people that low key they are supporting. But if INEC is something that has no business in Nigeria, it's just a body that comes, conducts election, and then after the election, it is dismantled. Let me put it that way. I believe it's going to go a long way, to a very large extent, to be better. But since it cannot be done that way, INEC always have 4 years to prepare for election. And this time around, so much investments were made to actually make this election a smooth one, but they failed. So I believe if Peter Obi reclaims his mandate, truly, it's actually something he should look into, the INEC, to ensure that a deep sanitation be done, and then to help the body to move forward. It will be very nice.
So, talking about INEC, here is what Reno posted on her Twitter account. She said, INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakubu said that INEC delivered the best ever election in 2023. Yet, INEC failed Nigerians as the election fell short of Nigerians' legitimate and reasonable expectations. Yes, everybody, even the EU, their reports, everybody has voted. And even those in the APC, those of them that have conscience, they know that INEC did a very bad job. INEC
Yeah.
did a very bad job. And I just pray that, INEC will learn, as in INEC will learn a lot if at all they are ready to learn, because they made so many mistakes. They made so much mistakes during this election. You
So many
find out that
mistakes.
even within their staff, they have so many corrupted staff. You can imagine during the pickup for PVCs, there were places you would go from morning to night. They've called just few persons. They would just
Yeah.
sit down in their offices. There were videos and all that coming up on the social media. You see them sitting there in the office just chatting while people are queuing outside. They can't get their PVC. Some people were still not able to get their PVC. These were all their strategies. These were all their strategies. So, but you can see that every Nigerian, as in every reasonable Nigerian, every patriotic Nigerian, know that Mahmoud didn't do a good job.
True.
Mahmoud, he didn't do a good job. We
At
just
all.
pray that the judiciary will help the Nigerian people. Let the judiciary just rule with all boldness and authority without any fear of help. They should come out and rule the way it's supposed to be, so that even in years after, if maybe the future judges decide to visit this case, let it be known that they did the right thing, as in they didn't try to cover up anything. They pronounced the right judgment. That is just our prayer for the judiciary, I mean our judges. So what do you have to say about this?
Okay, concerning what INEC did in 2023 election, to a very large extent, like many expectations, you could see it when they announced the winner. Everybody was just like, there was no joy anywhere,
They
because this is not our
were even
expectation.
begging for joy, sir,
No
for
joy.
happiness.
It was not what people were expecting. People had expectation that, okay, because we went out to vote in mass, things were going to turn out well. And then we had cases where people in polling units, where maybe the core members and then the returning officers too, the core members will make mistake and they cancel the result sheet itself. And then INEC, I don't know if INEC did not train corpers, I mean they trained compass,
No,
and then they allowed maybe police and party agents to actually interfere with the results. You could see results that people got 5, for example, and they will add 0 at the back, and
zero.
the INEC went ahead to
Some
submit
say
those results. Even if it's a school, a classwork, and it's even primary school, no teacher will mark a child's report, a child's examination that is thereof. You might give the child to repeat or something. But INEX just collected anything that corpus submitted. You could see cancellation, you could see errors here and there. And it was not making sense. It was not even showing the excellence for all the investments that was made into the 2023 election. So
it doesn't consider.
to a very large extent, they did not reach the expectations of Nigeria. They did not. They did not. And like you said, I believe that there are people in INEC, some INEC staffs that are into some illegal stuff to a very large extent, that maybe in one way or the other, they actually contribute to all of this. Because I cannot say Mahmoud is not everywhere. That's one thing. He's not in all
Mm.
the over 1,800 polling units that we had on that 25th of February when we had the presidential election. He was not everywhere. But those INEC staffs, there were SPOs, there were RATEX and everything. Those people that were in charge of corpers, that were working as APOs, POs, and all, they were the ones that were supposed to do the right thing, but they did not. they did not do the right
Mhm.
thing. They were just allowing people to use them as elections staffs. So that's the problem. So I believe the problem is not just on Mahmood, the problem is on INEC and their staffs too. INEC and their staffs, and they should actually invest proper time too in training people they will be using as election staffs. It's going to go a long way. So we'll not have a repetition of what we saw on that Saturday. We're seeing results, cancellation, we're seeing everything. It was not making sense at all.
Mhm.
It
Thank
was
you
not.
very much. Thank you. So
Thank you.
we won't be taking long. Each time we come here, we'll try to keep it snappy so that you'll be able to watch the video from beginning to end. So we thank you all for joining us. And Gloria, thank you for your talk this night. I wish you a
Thank you.
good night's sleep. And to our viewers, thank you for coming on our platform to listen to us. We want to say thank you and see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.